having Cam Donald leading us away, eh? TT champion. Previously on Next Moto Adventure.
Here we go. Triumph test ride the new Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally X, hopefully.
Yep. So we're going to Brisbane, going up to the Mount Glorious Cafe today, and yeah, it should be a pretty good experience. And it wasn't long before Paul and I found ourselves arriving at the popular Mount Glorious Cafe, greeted by a fleet of variations of the new Triumph 1200 Tiger. And met two-time Isle of Man TT champion Cameron Donald, who would be leading us out on this test ride. Wow, yeah, she's nice.
Yeah, this actually does feel really good. Oh, I like that quick shifter.
I reckon Triumph got the riding position on this bike spot on. Oh, I love it. The sound of this engine, that is so good. It's immediately obvious that they've aimed this squarely at the GS, and from a GS rider's point of view, they've nailed it. At least on the road. We're still yet to see how it performs on the dirt. And so, as the tar ends and the dirt begins, we pull over and line up the bikes, ready for some expert coaching and a traction control and ABS display from Aussie road racing legend Cameron Donald, followed by a quick squirt in the dirt on some unsealed road before we head back.
This is an amazing bike. It's so nimble. It feels like a race bike through the corners, and just the front end is so secure. Oh, how good is it? Mate.
Awesome, loved it. Yeah.
I could own one of these.
I honestly can't fault it.
They carry the weight a little bit higher than the GS, which is their main rival,
but
actually carrying the weight a little bit higher actually makes the bike change direction better. That's a real misconception that all your weight low, you would think that would be better, but it's not for cornering. That tends to want to push a bike through a turn. So it's alright, I'll hurry up. Once again there, could you see that?
Yeah.
Look, you could still lose it. You could still crash.
Hey, off-road mode. Yeah, it feels good off-road. Loving it. Pretty good, eh? Alright, this will be a bit of fun catching up. It's surprisingly light too. You know, that one we had the Rally Explorer, and I expected it to be so top heavy, you know, and it really wasn't, you know. And so as our Triumph Tiger 1200 trial comes to an end, just to give you the perspective from two GS riders, Paul and I decide to hit Macca's for lunch and share with you our totally unqualified, unprofessional and unbiased thoughts on the new Triumph 1200 Tiger Rally Explorer. Now that's a mouthful.
So Grant, tell me about your ride today. What did you think of the bike?
I thought it was good. But you know, what I thought was awesome was we got to meet Cam Donald. So yeah, multiple TT champion, Isle of Man TT champion, and all round good Aussie bloke. And but the bike I fell in love with actually. Paul and I have ridden, we've done GS experiences, so we've ridden all the new GS's, we've ridden the new Multistrada, and you know, Multistrada's got 170 horsepower, this one's got 150, and I actually thought the power on this was maybe more usable, and the bike didn't feel as top heavy as the Multistrada. I loved it, I was in love. And we both rode the Rally Explorers, so 30 litre tank, the 21-inch front wheel, and rode it in the twisties, and we, you know, and it handled like a 19-inch front. It really, really did. We're used to those on our bikes, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it needs to be highlighted. First of all,
eating nuggets too, by the way.
Yeah. Cheers.
we're in the golden arches, so we thought we'd celebrate the Maccas, do a debrief.
So Graham, it's not every day that you get, cheers. Not every day you get to casually talk and ride with one of our champions of our motorcycle fraternity.
Yep.
You know, someone the likes of Cam Donalds. Honestly, I mean, you don't get to see those guys all the time. It's like when you did the ride with Toby Price.
Yep.
It really is a highlight to get to ride with those guys.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And there's kind of a bit of a surreal feeling, isn't it?
Absolutely,
when you get to speak to them, they're just normal human beings like us.
Yeah, that's right.
Just as passionate about their bikes. And
absolutely, yeah. And there to help you, full of advice, which was really good.
Yeah.
And, when someone like that gives you advice, you listen to it. Because, anyway...
Because they're 10 times the rider you are.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And we said to him, we had a bit of a joke at the beginning there, don't worry, we're not going to be trying to keep up with you. And But, no, it was good. It was... I loved the bike itself. It was really good. It was the electronics I didn't play with as much as I would have liked to, but we didn't have that much time on them, I guess. But
so I did actually. It was the one thing apart from cruise control I didn't use, but I tried to play with as much of the electronics. Going through the menu was really easy. When he said to put it into off-road mode, and like even taking off, I was in sport mode, not in normal road mode.
Yep.
Played around with damping it a little bit because it was so user-friendly.
Yeah.
Like it was just the menu. You hit that menu button, you choose, you select the thing, toggle through, select, and away you go. It's that easy.
Yeah, it's very intuitive. I think
it doesn't take long to get used to the bike. Literally, I said, I hopped on. And within 5 minutes, I felt comfortable.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like even without the electronics, the feeling of the bike, from
very comfortable.
From a GS rider's perspective, both of us have ridden GSs for, over 12, 13 years now. It felt very similar. And
I thought the same as you. I thought the tank, being a 30-litre tank, was going to be quite top heavy, and I was expecting that. I didn't get that at all. I don't know how full that tank was because I couldn't quite work out how to read the I could read the speedo and the odometer, but I don't.
Yeah.
Did you find out where the fuel gauge was? It had a little fuel picture.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But I don't know how.
Yeah. It's just getting familiar with the electronics and the TFT. TFT is pretty awesome on that.
Yeah.
And they are on all the new bikes. Like it was awesome on the Multistrada. Awesome on this bike.
I can't fault either one. Like the BMW TFT was great. And they're all different.
Yeah.
All set out different. I probably like the BMW the way that it's set out more so than the Triumph. Having said that, it was a very clear screen. There was no glare or anything. It was easy to read.
I think once you knew your way around it, you could probably set it up as you want it with that information on it.
Remember, Chris was saying that the technical advisor, he was saying you can set up all the to exactly how you want it set up to read the information that you want to read.
Yeah. So they call them trays.
And there's 4 different trays as well as the centre one that you can set. So I think that's a good idea. And I don't know whether that was any different to the Multistrada or the BMW. I think they were all pretty much, you could set it to whatever you wanted to say.
But for me, the feeling of the bike, the power delivery and everything, and the sound from the engine was unbelievable.
When you roll that throttle on that growl it's got, oh my God.
And that's from,
I can see myself losing my licence.
Yeah.
Because you want to hear that growl.
Yeah, so they call that a T-plane crank, and so the firing order of the third stroke, I believe, is different to the first two. So it fires like a twin almost.
Oh, okay.
And that's how although it's still a triple.
I was going to say, isn't it? It's a triple,
but they've the firing order is different compared to the last Triumph Tiger 1200 engine. So
let me tell you, I really liked it.
I loved it. Yeah,
loved the sound.
And off road too on the pegs. For me, it just felt quite natural. Everything you know, the bike felt light actually for a big bike like that with a big 30-litre tank. I mean, I don't know how much fuel was it because, like Paul said, I couldn't really read the fuel gauge. I think it's just something you got to get familiar with on it. But,
I'm hoping that it was full
good.
because, you know, if that was the case, it's a bloody good feeling bike.
Yeah.
I felt that in the twisties, oh my God, you felt so much confidence. I was flinging this thing around like, I mean, it's their biggest bike that they've got, the biggest litre-ish tank.
Yep.
I was throwing it around like it was a sports bike.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, I was pushing that harder than I would push my own GS, and I'm really comfortable with that bike.
Yeah.
You know, but
even
that 19-inch front wheel. What was it? 21.
21, yeah.
21 inch.
Felt like a
front
19,
wheel.
didn't it?
It really, you had no slippage on the front end at all. Nothing but confidence. There was no real dive when you hit the anchors going into a corner. You got a little bit of dive, but then it kind of flattened out.
That's right. Yeah.
And it just felt smooth all the way. You never felt at a point where you felt, oh shit, I pushed that a bit hard.
Yeah, that's right. I think they've engineered that into the front fork. So apparently, you get that initial fork dive, and then the suspension stiffens up, and so it's quite reactive, and it's so quick. It's really good, and it's very so you get a lot of good feel in the front end because it's a conventional fork.
Yeah.
And you know, as against the telly lever on the GS, which we love. You know, I love the fact that it doesn't dive, and I think, you know, the stability under braking is very good on a GS, and I think it was on this bike too because of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yep, I didn't feel like it was going to break traction at any point, and it certainly didn't at any point for me, except when I went into off-road pro mode, which basically turns off all the electronics, I found, and you give it a handful, and you brake hard in the corner. Yeah, there was a little bit of like a bit of a sideways movement on the front wheel coming into the corner too quick. It happened once. I didn't feel like I was going to drop it at all. Unnerved me a little bit, but and I found, and that's when I felt when I was standing on the pegs. It was I felt that the bike was probably a little bit too light standing on the pegs.
Yeah, okay.
When I was sitting on the seat, you could really power into the corners and slide, and it felt quite solid.
With your, when you're standing on the pegs, what that does is transfers your centre of gravity even lower on the bike because it's then the force is acting through your feet.
Yeah, I agree.
Level, not up where your seat is. So
I mean, that's the theory. It should feel better, but it actually felt.
Yeah, okay.
I felt looser standing on the pegs than I did sitting, which is a weird feeling.
I got to say I didn't. I felt pretty good. I felt like my GS actually. It actually didn't feel any heavier than my air-cooled, you know, Boxer GS, air-all cooled, and it's got the 20-litre tank, you know. So don't know how much fuel it was carrying. It might have only been carrying 20 litres, but it was really good. Yeah, can't fault it, I've got to say. So I think it's just becoming familiar with the TFT and how to work everything. If you had a bit more time on the bike, you know, you'd work it out and you'd have your personal settings and everything set in.
When I said to you on the way down, I could have ridden that bike all day. But it was exciting to ride. It wasn't a boring.
No.
And that's kind of what I felt like with the Ducati. It was okay, but it wasn't that exciting. You know, it wasn't as exciting like when I drive the new Beamer. It actually felt familiar, but exciting.
Yeah.
The Multistrada, it was okay, but you know.
Yeah.
Did I get the feeling that I'll rush out and go and buy one of these things? No, I didn't. Whereas, you know, after the Triumph, you know, I said to you, I could see myself owning one of those. You know, it felt very familiar. It's similar price to the Beamer. Got tons of electronics. The one thing I really loved about it, and I'm talking too much here, but the one thing that I loved was that when you've got that on button into the full on position, all you have to do is pull the clutch in and the engine starts up straight away. Yeah. And so if you stall it, just pull the clutch in, starts up straight away again. Yeah. And that was the one thing I found. It was quite took a little bit to get used to the actual position of the clutch. Because of the higher revs, you kind of got to let it almost ride out before she engages.
Yeah.
Whereas, but again, that's just if you had more time on the bike, you get used to that pretty quick.
Yeah, another feature too is the hill hold. So when you squeeze that front brake.
Did you get that to work?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
it
didn't.
comes on a little green H.
Right,
on the TFT. And it holds the bike there beautifully. And then when you go to take off, I think with the multi-strata you had to squeeze it twice. This one you only got to squeeze once. Well, you don't actually even have to squeeze it. You can just take off. And the bike puts in a few more revs for you as well, so it doesn't stall. And which is a bit weird, but
when you hop on it, the preload sets to your weight automatically.
Yeah.
How good is that?
That is good. Yeah.
Now that's the one feature that the other two didn't have.
No, that's right.
The Beamer doesn't have it, and the multi-strata doesn't have it.
Technology, isn't it?
It really it's a next level, I think, of technology. As I said, the downside for me probably would have been, one of my wish lists, I guess, would be being able to go from road mode to off-road mode on the fly.
Yeah.
Again, look,
just a case of stopping, isn't it?
That's right. And resetting.
But on the fly would be better. And the other
Yeah.
thing is, if you turn the electronics, the bike off, it reverts back to road mode.
So when you're stopping off road, you got to remember to put it back into off-road mode again. Yeah.
Desert time.
But again, that is no real different to the BMW.
No.
You're in whatever mode you're in, whatever you've switched off. When you switch it off and switch it back on, it defaults back to.
So comparing bikes to also to the Africa Twin, which I've ridden, the older model, there's a lot of fork dive in that compared to this. And that was one thing that put me off it. It felt very top heavy, a lot of fork dive, under braking, and this you don't get any of that.
Good looking bike, but it really, I mean, the Africa Twin's a nice, aggressive looking bike, which I think is great, but there's a lot of negatives to it. And that fork dive and the top heavy are two things that when you're off road you don't want.
Well, they're a very tall bike as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's
not
pretty
as
tall
comfortable to ride as well.
No. Having said that, getting off the 1200, it was fairly tall.
Putting your leg over was a challenge.
Yeah. So anyway, you get that.
All in all, summary, would you own one?
Yeah, absolutely. If you blindfolded me when I was riding that, excuse me, I'll finish this apple pie. If you blindfolded me, I'd almost swear I was on a GS. That's how they're close, like maybe a new one. Someone told me, okay, this is a new GS. I would believe it, with the blindfold on, but obviously the sound's different. Characteristics of the engine's different.
I'm not sure I'd like to see that with you riding while blindfolded.
No.
It would be dangerous.
Give it a go, but don't think it'll end well.
I'll roll along beside you and give you the head, what gear to be in, when the corner. You'll be right.
But give it a thumbs up, that's for sure. This one, 2 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up.
Definitely could see myself owning one. The one thing I loved that within a short space of time, it felt familiar.
Yeah, it did. One thing we didn't mention was the fuel economy compared to a GS is not as good. So Paul, he's got the 30 litre tank, 33 litre, 34 on his bike, and he can get about 700 k's out of that. And I think they quote about, was it 500 or something, 550 or something like that?
No, 500
out of the 30 litre.
Yeah. So they're 200 k's less.
Yeah.
For 4 litres less. So that's not as good.
Yeah.
Having said that,
it's a long way to go.
Yeah.
But there are areas in Australia where
there's not too many places that are going to be where I'm going to need more than 500 litre range.
No.
So, is that a deal breaker? No, not by any stretch.
Not for performance.
It's a concern given that it's a brand new bike. Mine's a freaking 20-year-old bike. 20?
No,
10.
mine's 17, so yours is a 2009, so that's, yeah, 4 less, so 13-year-old bike.
13-year-old bike, right? So, round it up to 20.
Yeah. It was like a 20-year-old.
Like it's literally old technology.
Yeah.
We're talking 13-year-old bike.
And you feel
old
it.
technology, and yet I'm still getting better fuel economy than a brand new Triumph Tiger, 1200. Same CCs. I'm dead set mine would be heavier
For sure,
than theirs. And yet I'm getting better fuel economy. Because already I still get, if I sat on a highway at 100 k's, I would get 650 out of that, no problem.
That's right. Yeah, out of my 20-litre tank, I get 420. So, you know, the GS
whereas
have it.
Whereas they're saying 350.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
20-litre, you know,
economy-wise, but then you know you got a lot more horsepower, so you're going to go through a lot more juice. So,
yeah, that's true.
you know, so that's where it is.
Yeah, it is a
extra
lot more horsepower, that's for sure.
105 horsepower on the old GS, and I got 110, I think, on yours, and 150 on the Triumph.
I would still expect better fuel economy.
You would,
than that, you know,
particularly a newer bike.
Yeah. So I think they rated the new BMWs get better fuel economy than that. You know, the newer Rally Pro Adventure.
They do, yeah.
Got similar figures to what I think they rated them for 6 to 650. Which I thought, okay, well, I get mine gets 700, but it's a slightly smaller tank than the front. But again, that's slightly better than the Triumph Tiger.
Yeah, for sure. No, it was good. Today, and they also gave us Triumph T-shirts and caps. So for 40 bucks it was, $39. Free coffee. And free coffee. Thank you very much, Triumph Australia, for that. And the blokes were very helpful, and you know, any questions you had, they'd answer. And
the service was great, wasn't it?
It was great, yeah.
It was really well looked after. We didn't feel neglected at all.
No, you didn't feel pressured either.
No pressure, no sale. I figured it's, you know, I guess, and this is my take on it, I think if the bike's good enough, it'll sell itself. You don't need to be pressured into buying one. Now, whereas some of the other bikes, you know, you really do try to, you know, tie you into a sale. Even to a point, BMW do that.
Yeah, absolutely, so no, it was a good experience all around. The other thing, servicing intervals on these, apparently 16,000 Ks between servicing intervals, so which is really good. So you save a bit of money there on servicing, and can't fault it. So
no, big thumbs up.
Yeah, big thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for an adventure bike, I'd certainly recommend it. Absolutely. There's a lot of positives about that bike.
That's right.
Of all the new adventure bikes that are out, I can understand why the reviews have been so good. I would recommend this bike. If you're going to do a trip, you wanted to invest in getting a decent adventure bike, and again, we rode the biggest. You know, the most expensive of all of them.
That's about 33
grand on road. 33 650 I think it is on road. I mean that's a fair price,
and that ticks all the boxes,
the electronics and everything. Like blind spot mirrors. You've got adaptive suspension. I mean, honestly, it ticks all the boxes. It's got all the traction package, everything.
Not forgetting also, it's the only large capacity adventure bike out there with a combination of the 21-inch front wheel and shaft drive.
There's no real extras other than luggage.
That's right.
That you'd want to put on it.
That's right.
It comes standard. So that's, you know, and that's the thing that with the BMW, you've kind of got to configure it, and you know, you end up with a $40,000 bike instead of a 33.
That's right.
Once you put all the options on, and of course you want all the options. Right?
You
I
do.
think this thing's got to come more standard with the options.
Yeah, it's got everything you want, heated grips, all that naturally. So, big thumbs up from us, and
Thank you, Triumph.
Thank you, Triumph.
Another good next moto adventure.
See you on the next one.